Vagina.
Vagina?
Vagina. I'm vagina.
I did think he would.
Vagina.
Are you going to pull like that, Gary?
Right. Hello, everybody. I'm Oscar W. Fidget.
Badger.
Alas.
And welcome to part 2 of our top 10 favourite films of 2017. We're into the second part, which means we're into our top 5, which means this is where shit gets serious now.
Get real.
Oscar.
So let's kick things off with my number 5, and this one is a film that the very first film I saw of 2017, saw 1st of January actually, and it was a film by everyone's favourite Marty Scorsese.
Martin's Mice Girl.
Marty Scorsese. Silence.
Ooh, interesting.
You what?
Shark Tale.
No.
Martin Scorsese did Shark Tale.
He was in Shark Tale.
He was in Shark Tale.
Martin Scorsese.
He was in Shark Tale. I have a very interesting relationship with silence. I have a very interesting relationship with silence in the sense, like, when we first went to see it, it's a long film, it's like 2 hours and 40 minutes, I think. And I sat and we were watching it, and I was just nodding off. I was like, first time I was watching it, I was like, first act, first ever time, I was like, can this end? I can't wait till this just ends. It's just boring. And it was one of these films where I just started to wake up more, and I started getting way more interested. And then it got to the end of the film, I was like, I love it. Like, I love it. And I never have experienced that with a film before. And the whole thing of, like, it's a film that just really, like, impressed me with the fact that it's a film purely about religion, but it's not preachy. And I recently rewatched it again and again, just fascinated by it. It's a really fascinating film which has a lot of awesome things to say. Beautiful cinematography. It's like one of the best shot films of the year. It's absolutely just stunning. Some of the landscapes of Japan that is shown. Andrew Garfield, one of the best lead acting performances of the year.
Yeah. Like,
absolutely fantastic. At first the accent is kind of like, what even? But then it works when you get used to it and everything. It's not necessarily one that I'm going to be rewatching every day, but it's a film that I will honestly go back to, and it's a film that I shouldn't at the core essence. So if you know what I mean, like, it's a film that it should be kind of like a one and done thing for me.
It should be a film, because normally when you watch movies, if it's a long film or it's something like that, it's like has like a harsh, watch it like every few years maybe. It's a bit like the 12 Years a Slave effect. I think I haven't seen it, but everyone I've spoken to says, like, oh yeah, you watch it, but then you just don't watch it again for a long time. It's a bit of a difference,
because 12 Years a Slave is about slavery. This is, again, dark topic as well, but there's kind of like an essence of calm about silence. It's slow building, I think. It's a slow building film, and it's just like, well, it's called Silence, and there's kind of just like some calmness to it, which kind of gets across what Christianity is meant to be about, and what even Buddhism is meant to be about.
I think it's a good example of how your religion doesn't determine sort of like, well, I'm saying like your actions don't necessarily determine the meaning behind a religion, for example. Because obviously, like, Buddhism's about peace and tranquility and equality, respect, things like that. But evidently, obviously, there's a lot of Buddhists who are. But obviously, evidently in this film,
it was more about what it was. It wasn't about necessarily like Buddhism over Christianity. It was like it just can't be Christian. Like it just can't be. Like the Catholic Christianity religion just cannot be in this country.
But then in the same token, it doesn't sort of try and say that all Buddhists are bad, and all Christians are good, because it also shows the intolerance of, I guess, Andrew Garfield sort of waltzing into Japan and being like, well, Catholics though?
Like, it's the right way though, and it's like, I'm not going to say who, like, because it's a bit of a spoiler, but like, there's a certain character that he's speaking with, he's like, but what right do you have to say that's what they should believe in?
Exactly.
No, but it's like, that might work for you. But here in Japan, it just hasn't worked.
It's not your culture. Stop.
Like trying to and one of the best things ever, like one of the best lines ever, like in a film, and of this year definitely, is like that character I was on about, like goes like, you're on about like God's sun rose on one day, God's son. That's God's son to us. And he points at the sun and it rises every day. And it's like, what, like, how poetic and just, like,
Yeah.
kind of, like, that's just such a thing of, like, just, like, you need to look at all perspectives of religion
Yeah.
and don't fight over it.
And it
Like,
just
it's-
shows you sort of like about like hypocrisy and intolerance at the same time, I think.
it's a good talking point for, like,
Yeah.
a civil discussion about religion. And it
If you're
shows...
speaking with reasonable people.
That's what I mean. And it also shows how diverse Martin Scorsese is as a director. If you look at just simply this decade of films Martin Scorsese has brought out, it goes from, excuse me, it's Shutter Island, Hugo, Wolf of Wall Street, Silence, all 4 completely different films, all 4 fantastic films. And that's why he's like one of the best directors right now. And that's why that's my number 5.
My number 5 we've already talked about
Yes.
in some depth, and it's Blade Runner 2049. This was a film, I went to see it and I didn't really know how I felt about it.
We saw Blade Runner for the first time like an hour before.
Yeah, we literally watched Blade Runner and then went to watch Blade Runner 2049. And I remember going and being like, I really hope this film's better than Blade Runner. But then we went to see 2049 and it's similar but very different, I think. Obviously it's been made in sort of the 2010s, which is quite
It's
a
30
time.
years. It's 35 years after
So
the first film came
it's
out.
gonna be made very differently. Did think it was better than Blade Runner. Kind of was a bit like, right, okay, that was a pretty film, but I didn't really know how I felt about it. There was another film we were sort of like there about, I think, that isn't in this list, but we went to see something else and we came out and I said, I don't even know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
But the more I think about this movie, the more I actually really like it, evidently because it's my number 5.
Yeah.
We've already said absolutely outstanding cinematography. If that doesn't win an Oscar, then there's something wrong.
System's corrupt.
I enjoyed the acting in it.
Gosling's good.
I think it definitely benefited from having a bit more of a diverse cast, I guess, and given that cast more room to like express themselves, because you had a little bit of a mix in the original, but most of the voices I think were sort of Rutger Hauer and Harrison Ford. There was a lot of things I remember walking back and I said to you, there's a lot of things I found quite problematic, but I understood where Denis Villeneuve was coming from with it. I just don't think it hit the mark at points with what they were trying to convey. I think Harrison Ford as Deckard was a lot better and a lot more developed in this film than the first one. Because in the first one, though I'll give him his due. In the first one, there is that one scene where he goes to the bar after he's killed. I can't remember her name. A droid, and that's well acted. I enjoyed that bit, but for the most part, I feel like he's still kind of recovering from being Han Solo.
Or trying to get away from that.
That's what I mean. He's like trying to get away from Han Solo, but I don't think he quite knows what he wants to do with the character. Whereas now he kind of there seems to be just more to him. I think he's more likable in this, I would say. I liked Ryan Gosling in it.
Jared Leto's best performance.
Oh yeah,
That was what I was commenting on. Yeah, I find it quite funny that he was kind of in the poster and he's barely really.
It's a total Jared Leto thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
it is, yeah. I guess it's the same as Suicide Squad with the whole Joker thing.
Yeah, but he did. That film got cut to shit. That did,
Yeah.
so he didn't really have. He wasn't.
Yeah. True.
My number 5.
I can't remember.
I'm just making sure I've got the right film, because like if it's not, I've got
Baywatch.
number 5 is the Netflix one. You know what you should know. It's Bright.
Something called.
Hey, calm down. Talk about why you like Bright. No, we'll get in. No. We'll get into that after. We haven't seen it, but we'll get into it. We'll get into it after you talk about it. Go on, talk about why you like Bright.
I liked it. Really good film.
David Ayer,
which I like. I'm a big fan of David Ayer. Well,
it's wishy-washy with me.
yeah, same actually.
Love End of Watch. Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I've probably got the same opinions as you then, yeah. But this is like a mixture of like Suicide Squad and End of Watch. Because you got the whole police aspect. Then you got the whole Suicide Squad-esque about it. Like about the mythical creatures and stuff. But it's really
Harley Quinn, the mythical creature.
the makeup was fantastic.
It did look good on Joel Edgerton, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The CGI was pretty good. And I'm a big fan of CGI sometimes, but that was good. It was good CGI. And the whole like mystical creatures behind it, like you got elves and stuff like that, and it's pretty cool. Like the world exists. You can feel the world exist. I know that it doesn't exist in here, but it's believable in that film.
My number 4. Now this shows you like how wishy-washy my list was. For a while, this was my favourite film of the year. My number 4. Like right now, I raved about this film. I talked about it so much. I told many people to go and see it.
Because the money.
And we even made a discussion video about it. My 4th favourite film of the year is Baby Driver.
I was surprised, to be honest. I thought that would be a bit higher than.
I thought as well.
I said to you yesterday,
I
I wouldn't be surprised. What was your
I thought it was going to be higher than that. Baby Driver is a film that just really like I watched it and I was just enthralled, blown away, just like with how creative the film was. Edgar Wright is one of my favourite directors. He's not made a bad film. Like he hasn't. My least favourite film of his is Shaun of the Dead, and that's it.
Mine as well.
He gets better, I think. I think he gets better with each film. Personally, like kind of.
I can't believe you both think Scott Pilgrim's better than Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, definitely.
I've never seen.
Oh, it's definitely better than Shaun of the Dead, without a doubt, hands down.
I've never seen Scott Pilgrim, so.
But Baby Driver, this is essentially the film that I think what he wanted to do with Ant-Man. But since he didn't, because Marvel was like, you're too creative, get out of here. And he was like, fine, I'll be creative, I'll make a fucking better film. The soundtrack, the compilation of like songs and they're just really just like, it was so like, I mean, I couldn't stop like listening to it on Spotify. The performances were all excellent. Ansel Elgort, like, good on you, mate, for getting a Golden Globe nomination. I think John Hamm really stole the show at times. Lily James was really good. And also Jamie Foxx was really good as Bats.
Oh,
he's really good in it. Yeah.
How did I forget he was in this?
He's really good in this. It's such a rewatchable film. I think I've yet to rewatch it. But it's a film that like really like it's my kind of fun film, if you know what I mean. Like it's the kind of film that like I want to watch when I have fun. Like, and it's like there's so much energy in this film. Like Edgar Wright just put so much passion and energy within the film. Such a unique, like, cool film. Amazingly edited. Sound design's phenomenal, and I think the directing is like sensational as well. Like, there's just so much fun, energy, and just like it's a really good ride. And I love Baby Driver. And I'm surprised it's number 4 on my list.
Good job, man.
My number 4 is the one we've already talked about. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to keep this one short and sweet because we've already agreed that it's a film you don't really need to go into. You just need to watch. And my number 4 is Colossal.
You can go into spoilers with this one now if you want. We can talk.
No, we've kept it pretty good. I think we've been spoiler free throughout, and I'd like to continue that tradition. I think this film really surprised me. It's a film I absolutely adored. This one nearly made number 1, actually, believe it or not.
Well, I remember you saying, so it's like Baby Driver with me.
It was really emotional for me, this film, and I didn't expect it to be.
No.
I thought it was going to be just a lot of fun.
Well, like we said, we thought it was going to be a rom-com with
and to an extent, it was a lot of fun. But I think towards...
It gets to the third act,
then I just got very emotional, and I'm not going to probably be able to watch it again for a little while. I will rewatch it, but it was like very personal to me.
Definitely.
There was a lot of some of the things. Not anything to do with alcohol, put it that way. But some of it was very, very personal to me and made me very emotional. So this is why it's probably as high as it is.
Gary, what's your number 4?
My number 4. Usually I've not seen this film.
Oh my!
God!
It's a documentary as well.
I think I might know what it is. I don't know. What's this documentary on Netflix? That's your number 4, Gary.
It's called Williams.
Oh, it is a documentary. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a documentary. It's got like Frank Williams, the F1. It's like an F1 team owner. It's all his life basically, like how he grew up and how he met his wife and
how he lived his life.
You are?
How he lived his life.
Yeah, how he lived his life.
Oh, he drove down roads.
Yeah.
But not Cody Rhodes.
He crashed. That's why he's in a wheel. That's why he's in a wheelchair.
Like, how he drive through down roads, you're like,
that's the
yeah,
full story behind it. Like, he doesn't give you a lot of his life away.
It's recovery after he's crashed, and I'm guessing.
Stuff like that, yeah. I actually cried at the film as well.
You cried, did you?
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
There's always like one film every year that you get that you cry at.
There might have been a few.
Inside Out was one of them.
Periods that I cried at.
You cried at Patriots Day, did
I
you?
think I did, yes. I think I did.
They're just blending in so much that I can't remember.
I cried
No, it was towards the end of Period Today when they showed the tribute.
Oh, like the tribute, like the real people.
Yeah. Then I'll cry at Williams.
My number 3 is within a series of films that is very highly praised within Heel Pictures. And it's by a director that I am personally a massive fan of, and that is Star Wars: The Last Jedi is my third favourite film.
Really?
Of 2017.
Wow, I'm interested now about it.
My third favourite film is directed and written by Ryan Johnson, who, if you were around during Chapter 2 of Heel Pictures on the Facebook days, you would know how much I was hyping Looper for, and how much we were like really jacked over Looper and all that. And this is...
There's a child downstairs.
There's a child downstairs.
Shall we point out it's Oscar's niece? Not
just a random child, yes.
Oh yeah, to give birth while we're off air.
That's what happened, yes. Our little McConaughey, shut up! We got baby Lou instead.
I should change the name now.
He's Lou, not Louis.
Oh yeah, is that how you change?
We do not mention that man's name in this household anymore.
Okay.
You broke my heart. This was better than Force Awakens for me, which was my number 2 of 2015, I think.
So Force Awakens is quite high in your Star Wars list, like just for overall Star Wars list.
I prefer, it's my third favourite, well, was my third favourite. It's my 4th now.
Is Empire your favourite?
Empire's my favourite. It's Empire and New Hope and then Last Jedi.
So Last Jedi is your third favourite Star Wars film?
Yes.
Yes.
And the reason why I say that is because it kind of confirmed all the things I was excited for going into it, and kind of did something else as well. And all these haters out there say it's the worst film they've ever seen. There's people out there. There's people out there.
No, he is.
Are they like actually
Make us
people,
sad.
or are they just like children? Because
Well, that dude that we watched that review of, who I refuse to say the guy's name because I refuse to give him any publicity, is saying like, it's a social justice warrior bullshit. What, can't men be strong? Why does it always have to be the women? And all that.
well, that guy who was like, if you like it, you need to kill yourself, basically.
He basically went like, I hope everyone involved in making the film gets cancer so they can experience the same pain that I did when watching
And it's
this
like, are you
film.
for real?
It's like, dude, away.
It's only a film.
It's only a film.
Out.
But it's a very good film as well. I think the cinematography is just stunning. It's like beautiful cinematography. John Williams, mate, your score is so fucking good in this film. It's like,
so good.
it might be my favourite score of the year.
It's better than last
It's my favourite.
Force Awakens.
It definitely, oh yeah, definitely. Daisy Ridley gives a really good performance, I think, as well. Adam Driver just really steps up a notch and like really gives more layers to Kylo Ren as a character. Mark Hamill, one of the best support. Mark Hamill.
Good to see you,
I love Mark
Hamill. one of the
Mark Hamill. Get it.
Hamill. But I think Mark Hamill gave like one of the best supporting actor performances of the year. Like just like, and he may not have agreed with. He may have hated the way Ryan Johnson wrote Luke Skywalker, but I didn't. I enjoyed like the outcome. I'm not going to spoil too much again. There's like a lot of moments in this just chills all on my arms and everything. Like sound design as well really helped with that. And there's a specific moment in this, like it got to a point where I'm like, this is like exactly like Last Airbender, as in the show, not the film. And I'm like, that's my favourite show, and I'm like, yeah, I'm hooked now then. Of course I'm gonna love this now, if that's what it's reminding me of. Excellent lightsaber fight, maybe like one of the best lightsaber, maybe the best. Maybe.
Are you talking about the...
In the room, in the red room.
room.
Yeah, maybe the best lightsaber fight ever. Again, this film kind of like reminded me why I love Star Wars. Like, Force Awakens reignited my love for Star Wars. Rogue One kind of shat on it a bit. Like, Rogue One kind of made me go, oh, is it just going to be a really corporate film? and all that. And then I was like, "Oh, Disney just gonna
Stick it to the man.
And I'm like, oh, is Disney just going to be pushing Ryan Johnson around? And then clearly not.
Yeah.
Like, I still felt the passion with Last Jedi. I still love talking about it. Last Jedi is my third favourite film of the year. What could be my number 1 and 2?
Ooh!
What's your number 3, Sophie?
Let's Get Out.
Oh, really? It's Get Out.
No, Get Out. I mean, Get Out.
Let's do a podcast. Or Blade Runner.
Blade Runner podcast. I wonder how long he's going to keep this up for.
I don't know.
Yes?
I'll come back then.
Yes.
I told you to get to nuts.
But yeah, my number 3 is Get Out.
Directed by John
You
Peel.
have to go- Yeah, directed by John Peel. And I really like this. This one was... My 1, 2 and 3 were really hard to put in order, so I just just bung them in even more, so in a random order, because I couldn't decide.
You
But
mental
really,
case.
shut up you cheeky rat. I'm sure the audience loves you, Gary.
Trousers these.
Anyway, I really like this movie. I loved the actors and actresses.
Daniel Kaluuya and
He's amazing.
Alison Williams.
Yeah, and that guy who I can't remember his name, but he keeps cropping up in everything.
Lakeith Sullivan.
Yeah.
He was in. He was Snoop Dogg in Straight Outta Compton,
Snoop Dogg.
but he was also
I
in
really
Shirt
like
Temple.
him.
He's
He
really
keeps
good.
turning up and things. I really like the concept. I thought the concept was fun. I felt like the humour was fantastic in it. I knew of Donald Glover, but this introduced me to the music of Childish Gambino, which I was very thankful for. This was before Redbone was a meme.
Yes, it was. Gary, what's your number 3? Gonna check your little heterosexual laptop, are you? It's hetero.
How do you know it's hetero? Did it tell you it's hetero?
What is it, Gary? What's its sexuality?
Don't know.
Have you
Ask him.
thought about asking it?
Hello.
Oh,
What sexuality?
that didn't consent to being stroked by you.
It's an object. It's an animate fucking object.
Nice,
reference
nice
there.
in Bruges reference there.
The Kingsman 2.
The Golden Cycle.
The Golden Circle. I don't know why. I don't know why this is my second favourite film. Is it second?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
no, we're 3.
You looked very dazed there, like-
Well, not 3. Well, number 3.
Yeah.
What's your third favourite film of the year, Gary?
Hang on, you're confusing us here.
We're on our third. We're on number 3.
Oh, right, that's right. Yeah. Kingsman. Kingsman 2 is my third favourite film of 2017.
Kill me, please.
It's directed by Vince. Is it Vince Vaughn?
No, Matthew Vaughn.
Matthew Vaughn. Vince Vaughn's an actor. In Santa Claus and Red Claus 2, whatever it is.
They didn't do a sequel.
No, they didn't. But we kind of got the part of me. To make Bon Jovi.
I was playing Lips of an Angel, by the way. Kingsman: The Golden Circle.
Yeah.
What's your third favourite film?
Yeah, I liked it. Got a good soundtrack. Better than the first soundtrack. Like the best.
I think you say better than the first film, then.
Best film soundtrack. I think Kingsman 1 is better than Kingsman 2, just by a little bit. But it's good to continue the story, and you got a new. It's the same premise basically as the last film.
Enough, yeah.
Like you got the world, and the villain wants to rule the world, and what have you. And
I've got to stop them.
I like Taron Egerton's Eggsy in this film as well.
yeah, Taron Egerton's Eggsy.
You got Mark Strong's Merlin.
Yeah,
Devastating.
West Virginia. Yeah.
Colin Firth. Not
yeah.
spoilers.
That's what he is in the trailer.
Yeah, he's in the trailer.
Which is
I wish he wasn't in the trailer.
I love how like kind of like comic booky this film is.
Yeah, it's very comic
Like,
booky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like with the diner and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just so like the aesthetic of the film's really cool. It's a really cool, fun film, I think.
Yeah, really fun film.
It would be a good back to back to watch Kingsman and Kingsman 2. Like it follows on pretty well.
Yeah,
like,
it does.
It gets the essence of it, I think. My second favourite film of the year. Now here's the thing. My top 2 favourite films are all by A24. Love you, A24. But my second favourite film of this year is a film that you've mentioned. It's Moonlight. I rewatched this film.
Dancing in the moonlight.
Stop it! Now! Get away from me, I'm gay! I'm an eggplant.
Gary's just looking at pictures of babies.
Sophie's gone on a mission for God. And,
Gone to Japan.
so Gary.
Got to Japan.
So
Oscar.
what's your opinions on Marmite?
You probably love it, you hate it, don't you? I hate it.
You hate Marmite?
Yeah, I don't like that.
Have you ever tried Marmite crisps?
I have, yes.
What about Marmite chocolate?
Don't taste Marmite chocolate.
It's actually neither
don't
do
know
I
how it
actually.
tasted, to be honest.
What Gary explains would you want to do next? Like, what do you want to explain?
I don't know. What shall I explain next?
I don't know, Gary. We should.
Kevin
Kevin Spacey.
No.
How about you explain Kevin Spacey to everyone?
Not nothing to do. I don't nothing to do with like.
What about abortion?
Because like.
You explain Tom Cruise.
It's just gonna create hate and stuff.
You
like that.
explain Tom Cruise though. That's yet to be
I know.
uploaded.
Everybody loves Tom Cruise though. Everybody hates
Not everyone.
Kevin
Not
Spacey.
everyone loves Tom Cruise. Sophie doesn't like Tom Cruise.
Why?
I don't know. Ask her when she comes back. Have you been to Leeds?
I've been to Leeds a few times with my dad.
Did you see Simon Musk?
No, I didn't.
How do you know?
I don't know. I don't know.
You might have seen Simon Musk. Where did you go? Did you go to a pub?
Yeah, just to a pub and that came back.
What makes you think he wasn't there?
I don't know. Because I was only in the band for like 10 minutes.
He's a ball bloke, isn't he, Simon Musk?
So my dad. He was at Leeds.
Is your dad El Ligero?
Yeah. No, I'm El Ligero. I wear a bald thing.
Ball cap.
Yeah.
You took a picture of me with El Ligero. So how could you be El Ligero?
It's a bodysuit. It's a body double.
Oh, is he
Like
like
Fat Ligero.
Fat Ligero?
Yeah, like
Sophie, why don't you like Tom Cruise? Gary wants these questions answered.
Because he's weird and I don't like him.
weird.
That's what... Right. He's like...
There's Scientology though, isn't
Are we doing it in the
Come on.
video or can I explain it afterwards?
Come
Because it'll
back.
take some time.
Okay. So Moonlight. Moonlight's my second favourite film of the year. I was toying whether to make it my favourite, but I would just rather watch my favourite film more than this
Make
one.
it my favourite.
Yeah, but this, I mean, as you said, like the way that they like it's like the same character but three different actors. It works beautifully, I think. Like the main word you can just use to describe this film is beautiful. I don't know, like the cinematography, the way it's shot is just. It's almost like the story feels real, but it almost feels like you're in a dream at some points. Like the diner scene, like in the third act, is very just like, oh no, like it's like if I could be in any scene, like if I could just float up from my seat and go into a film, I would love to go into that scene. And it's nothing even really that like extraordinary, is it really? But it's just something about it that's like, I want to be there right now.
Yeah.
It's powerful. But it's kind of subtle as well in a way, isn't it? Like it's not it doesn't make you feel emotions. It just naturally, like there's been moments where I was like on my second view and like almost felt like I was gonna cry, and I didn't feel like that. I didn't feel like that watching it for the first time, but like I got the second time I got so much more emotion from it. Mahershala Ali is extraordinary as well. Naomi Harris,
I buzzed when he won the Oscar.
Yeah, good on you, Mahershala. Is it Naomi Harris? I can't remember. She played Miss Money. Yeah.
She was his mother.
Yeah, excellent in the film.
Not Mahershala Ali's mother, I mean.
No, she was the main character's mother, Chiron.
Yeah.
Excellent in the film. And even the actor who played older Kevin was really good. But
That was cute.
but each actor who played Chiron fantastic, especially the one who played teenage Chiron. Chiron, because it was Little, Chiron, Black.
Yeah.
That's from the three Tarzan film. Like, he was like fantastic, and Barry Jenkins, the excellent screenplay, phenomenal directing, and it almost was my favourite film of the year. But then I had to give it to one other film. Go on then, Sophie. What's your second favourite film of the year?
My second film. I haven't made one. Well, I've written one, but my second film on the list is I did a Swiss Army Man again, and I switched it.
If you're unfamiliar with that, last year, midway through the list, she switched Swiss Army Man and Hateful Eight for her favourite.
So I did a switch, and it is The Villainess.
The Villainess. Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
I really like this movie.
I didn't think you liked it that much, oddly.
I really liked it, yeah, like more so upon reflection, I think. I liked the story, that was different. I thought I was getting a bit confused at points, but once I managed to connect everything up together,
It's
it was
one of
really
those
good.
types of films.
I loved the lead actress, the main character. She was really good. I liked the choreography, the fight scenes.
Yes.
I love how it started. Like the film starts. This isn't a spoiler, but the film
beginning.
starts like hardcore Henry, basically.
It's a first-person action scene. That's how the
Yeah.
film starts.
I love that, and I love the transition between that to
not from
third person.
because what happens is like she gets her face smashed in a mirror,
and then it backs out, and it's
and then
in
it
third
backs
person.
out, and it's beautifully edited. That's another really well edited
Yeah.
film.
Again, it's another film where it's serious when it needs. Well, it's serious. It is a serious movie, but there's like some dark bits and there's some sad scenes, but they don't. It dwells to an extent, but it doesn't detract from the plot. Pretty cool soundtrack, I think.
Yeah.
Just all of it, I just really liked it. It's got good aspects. It's got a bit of at points, a bit of a John Wick feel, but if John Wick was.
This is what everyone thought Atomic Blonde was going to be.
I think so. Yeah.
yeah.
I would say so. It's sort of like John Wick.
It's a Korean film, so you're gonna have to read, Gary.
Or Atomic Blonde. Or is it that?
No, but
No, one about
the
Villainess.
Villainess?
Oh,
But the
Because
Villainess.
everyone thought that Atomic Blonde was going to be like
Female John Wick,
and
but
it
this
ended
is
up
kind of
being more like a Bond film.
It ended up being more like Timothy Dalton Bond, but the Villainess is essentially female John Wick. I would
In
say.
Korea.
So yeah.
Yeah, so not the same plot obviously, but similar feel to it, and I really like this one. This, like I say, was nearly my number one.
I think I know what your number one is.
Yeah.
But yeah. Gary, what's your second favourite film of the year?
is there any guesses you want to put out?
No.
No guesses.
No
so you
guesses.
don't know what it.
I think I know what your favourite is, but I don't.
Yeah, I think I know what your favourite
But
is.
I don't know what your second one can be. I don't know what.
Oh, the one I think is your favourite.
Yeah, the one I think's your favourite, but I don't know what could be your second favourite.
My second favourite film, 2017.
17.
Baby Driver.
Baby.
Oh, yeah, we haven't-
That's
you haven't
right.
said
Oh,
that
that's
yet,
right,
have
yeah, Baby
Oh, I
Driver.
definitely know what your favourite one's going to be then.
Of course you do. Everybody knows I'm after up on this. Everybody.
Go on then, talk about why you like Baby Driver.
Well, I like Baby Driver. It's basically a drive. It's basically Drive.
It's what everyone thought Drive was going to be.
I was just going to say that.
Before they all booted off because it wasn't what
Yes,
they thought it was.
yeah.
I love cars. I love car chases.
She like Cars too, though.
I like cars too. I've never seen
No one
Cars
likes
too.
Cars.
I've never seen
I
Cars.
enjoyed it.
I forgot the actor's name.
Ansel Elgort, the main
That's
actor.
Yeah, he's really good in it.
It's the best superhero film of the year, isn't it, Gary?
Yeah, I would say so.
Totally
Yeah.
a superhero
It's
film,
definitely
kind
got
of.
hero aspects in it.
Yeah.
I don't know if this would be a spoiler or not, but I just wanted them, the two main characters, like the female character,
Yeah.
his girlfriend,
Louis James, yeah.
and
Baby.
Baby to get along.
Yeah. That's not a spoiler, that's just you
So
saying
that's just you saying that you believed in the romance.
Yeah, and I love that. I love that aspect of the game.
Film, you mean?
Film. And like just the way it's got like two storylines in one film if you think about it, because you got the heist bits,
Yeah.
which are hilarious by the way.
The whole Michael Myers thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so funny.
So,
Oh well, I forgot all about that, and that's one of my favourite bits of comedy. I think
Yeah.
from last year. Sorry.
You got like them main bits, and you got this secondary bit with Baby and his
his
girlfriend,
lass.
I'm just gonna say.
which good cinematography, good music. Like it's not as original soundtrack.
It's not a score.
It's not a score, so it's very
Nice use of Simon and Garfunkel at the end as well. I appreciate that. Baby Driver, yeah, top song. Also, good choice using Queen as well for like one of the big scenes. You ticked all the right boxes for me.
Which Queen song did they use again?
I forgot which one it was, but
it wasn't like.
It was not one of their main well-known ones, but it was.
under pressure.
It was Brighton Rock.
Brighton Rock.
That's right, yeah, Brighton
Rock,
Rock, that's very
solid song that is.
Yeah, it is.
Nice use of obscure Queen.
Yeah, thank you, Edgar. My favourite film of 2017 is a film kind of like when I saw it, I was hyped up for it. When it was announced A24 is they distributing, I was like, okay then, thank you very much.
Cheers, love.
I was a fan. I was anticipating it when it was announced that these people were going to be making this film, when A24 was going to be releasing it. And when I watched it and walked out from it, I was kind of like, this kind of just has to be my favourite film.
I know what it's going to be.
And
A24.
And you know, when I walked out of it, you know, one thing I was just thinking about was like, you know, if the whole world loved each other, the world would just be a better place to live. And my favourite film of 2017 is Disaster Artist, and I'm very well aware that I fucked up that quote. No, Disaster Artist is my favourite film of the year. It's the best comedy of the year. I laughed, but then I got quite emotional towards the end, like when it showed Tommy Wiseau watching The Room and how initially the crowd was reacting to it. I was of course I was laughing along with it.
Then you can't like poor bugger.
And then you saw his reaction. And I was like, no,
Tommy, no,
because I'm not being fun. And this film really kind of like spoke to me in a sense of like, you know, you want to, like, these two guys, they just want to make a film. They want to make a film. They want to make a film, and they do it, and they got so much passion for it. And Greg, Dave Franco as Greg, is like, he's put so much to one side so he could actually do this with Tommy. And it turns out to be like the worst film ever made. But like, I'm not being funny. The amount of connection I felt with that were like, I just want to get VHS Pirates 2 done. I want to get it made, and it very well might be awful, but I just really want to get it made, and I can't say that I didn't connect with it in that way. I mean, I've had a funny relationship with The Room. I watched it and unironically hated it for the first time, and then I just grew to love it, and now now it's like that and Inception, which are the two films I've watched the most.
Really?
I've seen The Room about the same amount of times as I've seen Inception.
You've seen Saw quite a few times as well.
I've only seen Saw 3 times.
Have you?
Yes.
Really?
I've seen The Room more times than I've seen Saw. I think the performance by James Franco is the best lead actor performance of the year. Like, I didn't see the film, like, his performance could have gone one of two ways. It could have been he was Tommy Wiseau, or it was James Franco pretending to be Tommy Wiseau, and he was Tommy Wiseau. It's uncanny, like, how natural he was as Tommy Wiseau. And I've seen so many interviews of the man Tommy Wiseau, and
I feel like James Franco was more Tommy Wiseau than Tommy Wiseau is at points.
Yeah, definitely. I think Dave Franco as Greg Sestero, like, I wouldn't say he was Greg Sestero. Like, I don't think, like, he's a bit more of a difficult one to kind of get, like, a knack of. But I think Dave Franco did a fantastic job in the role. I think there was no bad performance in this film. Seth Rogen almost stole the show, I will admit there. If it wasn't for James Franco, Seth Rogen, that would have been Seth Rogen's film. The script is fantastic for this film. There's so many points that make me laugh. The one bit that got me, like, creased, like, from laughing, was the bit when they're doing the take over and over again of like, I did not hit it, it's bullshit, I did not hit it, I did not, like, that scene, and there's a scene where James Franco as Tom Rousseau just bursts out the door and goes, I hit her, and then like Seth Rogen like, no, god damn it, like it's like moments like that where I'm like, it's just so fun. I love that crew anyway. I love, like, is it the Brat Pack? The Frat Pack.
The Brat Pack was like
Judd Nelson and, I love, like, the Frat Pack, like, that group, Franco, Rogan and stuff like that. I love the cameos in this film as well. Nice Bryan Cranston cameo there.
Yeah, that was fun. I forgot about that.
And the after credit scene is better than any after credit scene you would see in a Marvel film. Any objections to that?
No, well, I don't care.
I don't
about
care
Marvel
either.
too much. So.
I don't like Marvel too much.
Yeah, but like...
You're not going to see it in IMAX.
Is it...
Yeah, I've got to see Infinity War
For a
IMAX
friend.
for some reason.
For a friend.
I'm actually want to see that.
I don't. Anyway.
Why are you going?
Because I want to go to the Metro Centre, Gary. No, but The Disaster Artist, it may not be the best looking film, it may not be the best soundtrack, it may not even be the best film from 2017. No. But it's my favourite, and it's the one that I would talk about the most from leaving this year. Yeah. From my joint love of The Room, from my joint love of like the Frat Pack, from my joint love of filmmaking as a whole. And my experience watching this film in the cinema, then seeing The Room right after it.
Right on the front row as well.
It's... Spoons were flying everywhere, it was beautiful. Not during this film. But no, it was a great film. Hit all the right notes. Sophie, do you want to say what your favourite film is? Or what? Or like, do you want to give like a little bit of a note?
I'll give a little bit of a note prior to this. So, my favourite film really would be The Handmaiden.
Yes.
From what I've seen of it. But I couldn't give it my number one spot because I haven't seen the third part of it.
No, you haven't seen.
I've seen the first two acts and not the third. And the reason being was I had a very busy day and I was very tired. And
we did put it on.
And as hard as I tried to stay awake, we watched it last night. And as hard as I tried to stay awake through it, I just could not stay awake through it. I missed like the last hour.
Yeah.
Ish. But probably about the last 40 minutes, I think. And that is the only reason why that film isn't my number one, is simply because I don't feel it's fair to put it in the number one spot when I haven't seen the final act. But my favourite film from the support bench for that one would be Raw.
So that's your favourite horror film of the year then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Raw.
It's a horror film and it's very like...
That's what it's like borderline horror, I guess. That's kind of why I said, when you asked me about horror films...
It's foreign horror, which is always on the border.
Yeah. Because it's not outright in your face, like, oh, look at all the werewolves and the ghoulies. It's like, it's something a bit different.
So why is Raw your favourite? Because this is kind of a bit of a surprise for you, because you haven't really... I know we only watched it kind of recently, but you still... You didn't really like...
I didn't say anything about it because I felt like I really needed to sit and...
Yeah.
Have a little bit of a meditation over it and think about it. There was bits of it, I think I like it because it made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It made me very uncomfortable. It made me quite emotional in the sense of frustration and a little bit angry at points. More so in
but not at the film.
Not at the film, the sort of like... I think it's sort of because the treatment of the lead character... And you kind of realise that, yes, that is how people go on.
Yeah.
Like, it's like his and jobs and universities and things, and it kind of annoys you, like, seeing them treat her that way. I liked how it tied up at the end.
Yeah.
How it wasn't what you thought it was going to... necessarily how you thought it was going to be. And then I love the very end, how there's just, like, that reveal... And then it just cuts, and it's just gone. And it happened. It's like blink and you'll miss it, in a way, really. And it explains a lot without. It's sort of like the plot, the actual plot, like the actual main anchor of the story, isn't revealed until the last second.
Exactly.
To an extent. No, I just thought it was really interesting. I love the lead actress. I thought she was fantastic.
She's great in it, yeah.
For her age as well.
She's 21. No, she'll be 20 this year. She's 19. She's 19.
So that was...
19. She's great as well.
And sort of like the relationships between the characters. And I love how it kind of... I think we talked about this when we went to see Mother. Like, there'll be like a juxtaposition from like one thing and then it goes from like 0 to 100 and it kind of...
Another very good film that didn't make the list, but yeah, that's... Like,
yeah, but kind of does that in a sense of... specifically when she first gets to the university... well, it's not university, it's like a vet school.
Yeah.
Because I think she's only meant to be 16, the character. And she gets to vet school and it's all very quiet and nice, and all of a sudden she just gets dragged in this massive underground rave, pretty much, and it's very much out of the left field, and it's...
Yeah.
You feel a bit voyeuristic, I think, watching it. Like, you're watching it and you feel like you're looking at something you shouldn't be looking at.
It's weird because it's one of those films where it's like, it's kind of like Moonlight in the sense where sometimes you just kind of feel like you're in a daze, like a dreamy daze, but then sometimes you're like kind of, then it kind of keeps you on that daze, but like it kind of turns into a bit of a nightmare-y daze, if you know what I mean.
But I think there are points in it where you feel, it's almost like you feel a bit guilty for watching. Like you're like, I should be turning away, I shouldn't be looking at this. And like I said, there's a lot of bits that are really uncomfortable, and there's some parts where it is genuinely a bit nauseating, but they hold on it for ages.
No, yeah. Oh god, I had
They held on that for so long.
I had to look away from that because I like there's a moment involving hair, and I just had to look away, and I was going like that, like gagging from it. I was like, oh no, can't deal with that. Can't deal with that. And I'm not one to do that usually with films. I'm like, nah, show me anything.
Shower plug the same way again.
I'm funny with shower plug anyway. Now that film's like
Scarred you for
messed me up even more. So Gary, what's your favourite film of 2017? Get up. Get up.
Sorry, boss.
Express your love for this film.
You know what it is anyway. My favourite film of 2017, Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Knew it.
No surprise.
Way.
Obviously, of course.
Force Awakens was your favourite of 2015 as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, and this is better than Force Awakens. Yeah, I like this film.
Why did you like Last Jedi, Gary?
But I like it. It's Star Wars, and it's continuing from The Force Awakens. Good cinematography, good soundtrack, very good soundtrack actually, better than the Force Awakens. It's good acting.
Mm-hmm.
Very good acting. I don't know.
Was it just everything you wanted from a Star Wars?
I just wanted everything that I wanted, yeah. Just done everything right, like everything right. CGI was good.
Yeah.
Oh, that scene, the sound design as well, that scene.
With silence.
Everything silence in the spaceship. But yeah,
Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars.
Stewie.
It just felt like a better version of Force Awakens.
Yeah.
And there wasn't really much character development, really, apart from.
You don't think?
I thought there was
apart from Luke Skywalker and
Kylo.
Well,
everyone. I think everyone got a lot more development within the film.
Oh, definitely. Well, it explored that. It explored Finn overcoming his fears.
Of shoulder injury.
There was development between Rey and Kylo. There was Luke's development. There was
even Leia,
Poe.
Yes.
Development of Poe, sort of learning to calm the shit.
Yeah. So that was our top 10 list. I want to give like 3 quick little honorable mentions that I do want to discuss briefly, but they didn't make my list. This is like my 11, 12, 13. Creep 2. Everything I wanted to be and more, personally. Mark Duplass gives like probably the best supporting acting performance of the year. It was a good year for Marks for the supporting actor category, wasn't it? Hamill and good dick as well on the man. Again, probably one of the best found footage films ever. I think it was better than the first film as well. Manchester by the Sea, I think is an excellent film. Wonderful screenplay. Like, absolutely wonderful story. And absolutely fantastic, like, performances as well. It's, like, heart-wrenching, but, like, everything just kind of goes at a smooth pace, I think. And the last film I want to give an honorable mention to is the Lego Batman movie, because I'm a huge Batman fan, and it might be the funniest film of the year. I love The Disaster Artist, but, like, in terms of pure humour, that like the jokes per minute in Lego Batman film, especially for a Batman
and
references, especially for a Batman fan like myself, were just off the charts. It was they made a freaking like 1940s movie serial reference. Like, I mean, like, how more, like, that's just like it's amazing. But those are my 3 honorable mentions. But if you want to see like my top 38 favourite films from 2017, I'm going to leave a link down in the description to my letterbox where you can see how I ranked all of my favourites films. Again, I had 38 of the bloody things, and I only said 10, well, 13 now. I only talk about 13 of them. But if you want to get like a good idea of like what I really enjoyed from 2017, give that a watch.
I'm going to do something
Look.
similar. I'm not going to talk about my honourable mentions because I've got too many, but I'm going to do something similar, but mine won't be ranked. It's just going to be a list
Alphabetical?
of... Not just a list of films I loved from this year. Probably alphabetical, yeah, I'll say
That's
that.
the best way.
Alphabetical list of films that I loved from like I said, this year. I haven't watched anything...
2017, yeah.
My list of 2017 films that didn't quite make it into the top 10 list.
Gary, what's in the description?
Everything.
There you go.
Everything's in the description.
Everything's in the
The meaning of
description.
life.
Yeah.
The price of that bookcase.
Gary explains in the description.
Gary explains in the description.
Shameless self-promotion there.
So guys, thank you all for watching. Until next time, we shall see you later. And
See you later.
we shall see you later. And goodbye. Good night.
Sales.
Brother. No!
Too quick for you, mate. Too quick for you. You just bust that man. You just got it.
I was gonna
Thought you were gonna fight me. Hello, brother. Hello, brother.
I'm fucking.
Push me.